Hey, what's up guys, Devil Dog Gamer here. Welcome to another Marine Corps Mondays, and today I'm going to be doing a combat story. And this story is kind of serious, funny, and, stupid at the same time. But it gives you an idea of what kind of craziness goes down during combat. Now, a little bit of a background story of it. Iraq is a third world country, so the buildings around there aren't really to standards, I should say. You have a mix. You got concrete, brick, mud, wooden, whatever materials they can get, or money they have available. They're gonna build their house for that. So we dealt with a lot of mud houses, and you have to be careful around these mud houses because a lot of times it's mud. You're gonna be firing through them, and it's gonna go right through them and just obliterate whatever's behind the house, and it's just really dumb. So you have to pay attention, and a lot of times during the heat of combat you're not really paying attention that much. And this is where this kind of story goes with it. So, like I said before, I'm not going to use names of the people who were there, and I'm not going to tell you exactly where we were. This was in the Anbar province. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep that stuff, off YouTube, just because I don't want to get anybody in trouble or, put a bad name to anybody who's involved or anything. So anyways, there's this one, I would call it a larger village that we would go and patrol. And a lot of our informants told us that, 90% of the male population of that village were insurgents. So we like to make a daily presence there, just because we wanted to draw them out into firefights, and pretty much the best way to get rid of an insurgent, kill them. So we would go over there and just try to start shit, pretty much. And it had a main road, and right off the main road there was this group of about, I'd say, 8 or 9 houses. And they were a mixed match, and a few times we went in there, we asked some of the people who had been there before, who lives in those houses, and pretty much they told us that the people who lived there during the invasion pretty much just up and left, or went to like Syria or something like that stupid. So those were empty homes, and we asked them, who goes there, and they pretty much told us nobody does. So that was a good sign those homes were being used for something stupid. So getting to, trying to shorten this up, pretty much those homes were known for ambushes. Like, every time we would come into the town, we would always get shot at from those freaking homes. And it was kind of one of those things, like, I don't understand why we didn't just blow them up and just level them, but we didn't, and we always knew it was coming, and every time we'd go in there, mounted, dismounted, whatever, we would get hit from those buildings. And so they were pretty scarred up. They had a lot of bullet holes in them. Every firefight we had, one building would be there. It'd be less of a building. So they were pretty messed up. So this one day, we had pretty much a whole company out. I was in 1st platoon, and I was probably, midway through our column, and we had 2nd platoon about 100 meters behind us. And we were approaching those homes, and we kind of knew, it was going to happen, because it always happened as soon as we, got near those homes. Yeah, corner camper, I hate those guys. So we're coming up, and of course, we start taking contact. We start taking small arms fire from the homes. So we get online. There was a berm there along the road. So we get online. We start, just pretty much suppressing the shit out of those buildings. Rocking and rolling, because you can always get more ammo. So just fucking wasting ammo. So as soon as that happened, and it was kind of like these homes were out on their own, away from the village. So what we like to try to do is we like to try to cut off their retreat, so that way they can't get back into the main village and dump their weapons, and we try to keep them pinned in there, is what I'm saying, so that way we can just go in there and take them out. So 2nd platoon broke off and went off onto the right flank of that little village and prevented the retreat. So as we were laying suppressing fire, we're laying suppressing fire down, just lighting the shit out of those buildings, and we kind of cease fire. We're not getting much contact anymore. Well, 2nd platoon starts lighting them up. Well, I guess they had, they started trying to get back to the village. They got one of the guys, and they said like 3 or 4 guys turned tail and ran back into the village. So we had them pinned pretty much, and they knew it. So third platoon came up behind us, took our position, and 1st platoon, with us, we went in and started moving in towards the town. We were going to clear the buildings out, find where these guys were, and just take them out. So my fire team, we took up the left side, and it was about, I'd say 4 houses on the left side of the roadway in this little village, and I'd say 5 on the other side. And so my fire team, we set up on the left side. We were gonna, we stacked up. We're gonna go and clear the homes, and our other fire team set up on the right side, and they were gonna go start clearing those homes. And we had our Overwatch set up. Everything was good to go. We were ready to go. And when we know homes aren't empty and there's a possibility that there's an insurgent in there, we fucking frag them, which means we stack up, throw a frag in there, frag goes, then we bust in through the fatal funnel through the door, and then go, start clearing the rooms and everything. Just because we had a lot of problems with, probably about a month before that, one of our guys got injured because, entering that fatal funnel, you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. So he got injured. So we're, as much as if we could, and we knew there wasn't anybody in there, like civilian-wise, like no women or children, we would frag as much as we could, because shit happens when you walk through that door and you have a split second to react. And if somebody's sitting there with a RPK or a PKM just waiting by the door, you're pretty screwed. So we try to get frags out as much as possible. So we're going down the road, fragging, clearing the buildings and stuff. Our first building was a little 2-story freaking piece of shit concrete house, and it was all scarred up, so we cleared it out, nothing there. So the fire team on the other side of the road was clearing. Yeah, I love when those freaking things blow up when you stand next to them. So they were, moving on down the road, clearing them. So we got about halfway down, and we had stacked up, and I was like the third man on the stack. And our other fire team across the street was set up, and we heard frag out, because that's what you call when you throw frag out. And then just the pop of the grenade going off, and you just hear everybody like go, son of a bitch, what the fuck, people yelling and screaming. So we look over, and they're all hobbling around, and the whole wall they were stacked up on is pretty much gone. So I was like, holy fuck. So we run over there real quick, fucking, get their arms around us, fucking hobble them down towards the dock to get them to take a look at it. We fall back a little bit. Well, turns out what happened was they stacked up on a mud house, and I guess they were in the moment, they weren't paying attention to what they were doing, threw the frag in, it bounced off the back wall, and landed on the wall that they were stacked up on, and went off. So pretty much that whole wall just got obliterated, and they all took shrapnel in the legs. So we had pulled back because pretty much all 4 guys were just completely messed up, shrapnel all over the place. And, they were really lucky because, people don't realize how dangerous shrapnel is. And, it's pretty much the smallest piece. If it's moving fast enough and hits you in the right spot, you're done. It's game over. So they were all pretty messed up, and they got actually pretty lucky because our doc checked them out, and, they were pretty much just peppered to death. So it wasn't anything bad. They were walking wounded. We lost a whole fire team for about a week while they healed up a little bit. But it was pretty crazy. And, stuff like that, it happens. And you just got to prepare for it and act for it. And so anyways, long story short, we replaced them, continued along through the village, and ended up narrowing them down to where they were, to one of these buildings towards the end. And, once we started getting closer, we could hear them, and then they're popping the AKs out the door, and their RPK and firing. So we backed off. We're like, nah, it was a small building. It was maybe like a 3-room building. So walking in there when you got 3 or 4 guys in there with the fire team, no bueno. So we backed off, ended up calling in an AH-1, took it out with a Hellfire. So we ended up finding 4 guys. They had an RPG-7, RPK, and I think they had 2 AK-47s. So they had a good bit of firepower, and it was, as much as I like, going in and clearing buildings because you get to actually get in there and, make sure they're done. If I could, I would have liked to do more close air support missions on the buildings because, going in there, it is scary. I mean, clearing rooms is scary as hell, and if you're the first man, it's nervous. You're nervous the whole time, and even the guys who've been doing it, the war dogs, like, they don't like going into clearing homes if they don't have to. So that's where that is, and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty funny, and like we would always give those guys shit about all the, freaking busting up their legs with their own damn grenade. But stuff happens, and it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen anybody do, stupidity-wise. But you got to remember, you got to keep that situational awareness and always pay attention. It's because it's always the small details that count. Like, I've seen it a few times where people have called out IEDs, and all there is just this tiny little wire exposed. And if you're going 40, 50 miles an hour, to seeing that wire, that just shows you the kind of situational awareness people have. And I mean, I wouldn't have spotted that kind of stuff. So you got to remember, you got to always pay attention to what's around you. And you never know what could exactly happen. So, but that was one of our funny moments, and that's not going to be the last story I'll tell about this village in question. We had quite interesting moments, I should say, inside this village. So, yeah, but pretty much halfway, I think we did about a month 2 months of straight patrols in that village, and that little village area where we, the guys fragged their own legs, that was gone in probably like maybe a month. All those buildings were pretty much leveled because they loved using those buildings so much because they'd catch us out on the open road, but they couldn't shoot worth shit, and we always outnumbered them. So those buildings were gone quickly, and we weeded out some residents of that village thanks to that little exposed area. But anyways, guys, if you want to hear more combat stories, make sure you give it a like, favorite. It's kind of hard for me to talk about these things once I live through them, so as much support as I can get from you guys would be greatly appreciated. And once we get up to 700 subscribers, which I'm thinking is going to happen soon, we'll do another game night. And also, I've been playing Battlefield 3 on PC. I have nobody to play with on PC. So if you have Battlefield 3 on PC, add me on Origin, Battlelog, Devil Dog Gamer. You know my name. So I'm definitely down to play with some of you guys, because rolling solo is not any fun. So I did pretty good this round. I mean, I got like 70 plus kills, but my deaths were up there a little bit. But yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I don't complain about it. It's not my favorite game in the entire world. But yeah, guys, make sure you leave a comment, give it a like, and a favorite. Talk to you guys later. Peace.